Total Sports Zone. All sports, all action, one zone.
Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating NBA dilemma. You've got this rising star on a team that's struggling, and his price tag, well, it's so massive, it could actually reshape the league. We are talking about Trey Murphy III and the potential bidding war that might be brewing just below the surface.
So this is the big question, right? This is what the New Orleans Pelicans are grappling with. I mean, despite a really tough season, the source material says they are super reluctant to just sell off their best pieces. They actually believe they can turn this thing around. But you know how it is in the NBA, everything has a price. And a grandfather offer, that's a trade package so good you just can't say no, well, that could absolutely force their hand.
So what is all the hype about? What makes Trey Murphy III so valuable? Well, he's basically everything you want in a modern wing. The guy is a knockdown shooter from literally anywhere. He's a pain on the perimeter for other teams, always getting steals. And he's the perfect off-ball threat, which means he doesn't need the ball in his hands all the time to make a huge impact. But here's the real kicker. He's doing all of this on an incredibly cheap, team-friendly contract. That makes him one of the absolute best bargains in the entire league.
These numbers, they tell a pretty incredible story. 49% from the field, 38 from three, and 90 from the free throw line. Hitting those kinds of shooting splits puts you in a super elite club. We're talking about the best of the best when it comes to offensive efficiency. This is the kind of production that has GMs all over the league daydreaming about getting him on their roster. And this, right here, perfectly lays out the huge decision the Pelicans are facing. Do they play the long game, keep their young guys together, and just hope for a quick turnaround? Or do they cash in on Murphy's sky-high value right now, get a massive haul of assets, and basically fast-track a whole new rebuild? It's a huge, huge call to make.
All right, so let's play general manager for a minute. Let's say New Orleans finally decides to pick up the phone. Which teams should be blowing up their line? Based on the source, we are counting down the top 5 potential landing spots for Trey Murphy III. Kicking off our list at number 5, we've got a team that's, let's be honest, always in the conversation for a big name, the Los Angeles Lakers.
I mean, on paper, the fit is amazing. Just imagine Murphy, a supercharged wing who doesn't need the ball, playing alongside a legendary playmaker like LeBron James. He would take their offense to a completely different level. But, and it's a big but, the Lakers just don't have the goods. They don't have the draft picks or the young players to meet what's going to be an insanely high asking price from New Orleans. And that really brings us to the final verdict from the source material. For the Lakers, getting Trey Murphy III is, and probably always will be, just a pipe dream. So, who's up next? All right, coming in at number 4, we have the Golden State Warriors, a dynasty that's really at a crossroads right now. Murphy's game, it's like he was built for the Warriors' offense. You know, constant movement, hitting shots on the run. He would fit in seamlessly. And they even have some interesting pieces like Jonathan Kuminga and some future picks that could at least get a conversation started. But here's the thing. The source notes that their priorities might have shifted. They really need another primary ball handler, and whatever assets they have are probably better used to go big game hunting for an even bigger superstar to pair with Steph Curry. Okay, so the Lakers and the Warriors, they feel like long shots. Let's shift gears and start talking about the teams that actually have the firepower to put a serious, compelling offer on the table for a player like Murphy. And that brings us to our number 3 team, the Portland Trail Blazers, a team that's definitely looking to make a move. For Portland, the why is pretty simple. Their offense is ranked 22nd in the league. It's not good. And Murphy is an explosive, super efficient scorer who would fix that problem on day one. And because of that Damian Lillard trade, they've got the draft picks to get it done. The big question, though, would they be willing to give up a key young piece, maybe even someone like Scoot Henderson, to make the deal happen? Our runner-up coming in at number 2 is a franchise that has a reputation for never being afraid to make a bold move, the Toronto Raptors. Murphy's whole game just screams Toronto Raptor. He's a disruptive defender who forces turnovers, which is perfect for their transition game. And on offense, he's a much more efficient scorer than some of their current guys, which would open up the floor for their star, Scotty Barnes. The only real question is, they already have a pretty deep wing rotation, so is this the upgrade they need most right now? All right, we've seen the long shots, we've seen the strong contenders, but according to this analysis, there is one team that stands out above all the rest as the perfect fit, a team that should just push all their chips to the middle of the table. And that team is the Detroit Pistons. Yep, a young, rebuilding team that has been all about patience for the last few years. So why? Why would a patient, rebuilding team suddenly go all in? Well, the thinking goes something like this. First, championship windows in the NBA are super fragile. They can slam shut when you least expect it. Second, right now, the title race is wide open. There's no one unbeatable super team. And third, and this is the big one, Trey Murphy isn't just another player. He's seen as the potential final piece that could turn their core of Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren into legitimate contenders. The source material really hammers this home with this one powerful statement. This isn't just about trying to make the playoffs. This would be a move aimed at transforming a good young team into a real championship-level force for years to come.
And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? For a team like the Pistons, or really any team in that position, is one player, even if he's the absolute perfect fit, worth betting your entire future on? It's the biggest gamble you can make in the high-stakes world of